Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mott's Cage Radio. I'm now joined on the phone by a professional fighter. She holds a record of 2-1 and fights out of Medford, Oregon. She's coming off a victory last Saturday night at the Art of Fighting. Please welcome to the show, Little P, Patricia Vidonic. Patricia, welcome to the show. How are you?
What was that?
I said, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I am doing good. Now, tell me how you get into cage fighting first and foremost. How did this all come about, and how long have you been training?
I've been training for a little bit over 2 years.
Okay.
And actually, I started in the summer of 2008, but I only trained for like a month.
Okay.
I was going through a divorce, and so I picked back up January of 2009. And a friend of mine he's now my husband, Jason, and my coach, but him and I were friends for about 3 years before we got together, and he telling me that he was getting ready to train another local girl in Medford, and I was always wanted to try it, so I was like, can I come over and try? And he said, sure. And the next thing I know, he said I had a pretty natural knack for it, and it just all kind of went from there.
Now, when you say you started training, now are you going to do some boxing? Are you going to do some jiu-jitsu? What was your first type of formal training?
Just everything for MMA. I didn't have any specific training for anything but cage fighting, and I have no other backgrounds. I've never boxed. I never did wrestling. I never did any martial arts, no karate or anything, so everything I've learned is specifically for the cage. Okay,
fantastic. Now, obviously, you did some training. I'm assuming that you're a fan of like the Ultimate Fighting, and you were watching this on TV. When do you decide, hey, I want to try to make some money at this?
Well, after my first fight, I knew that I'd wanted to keep doing it, and I was an amateur. I started out as an amateur, so because they had amateur fights in Oregon.
Okay.
And I decided to, keep on fighting amateur until I felt I had, so my coach felt I had enough experience to turn pro. And then when there wasn't really anywhere else to fight or any other girls to fight over in Oregon, then I just decided to get the ball rolling. I might as well get paid for what I love.
Okay, now there doesn't appear to be a huge pool of women to fight. Do you find it difficult to find women to fight in your weight class? Does your weight have to fluctuate? Like, I'm sure you know Zoila Frosto. She's from our area. She first started fighting at 135 pounds, dropped all the way down to 115. Is that something that you have to do, or you're just going to stick at 125 and that's the way it is?
Actually, my fight this last weekend in Florida, I fought at 115. Well, it was contracted at 115.
Oh, okay.
And I started out like Zoila. My first fight was at 130, and then I moved up to 145, and everywhere in between there. And then this last year, in 2010, I decided to drop down to 125, and that was working for me. And then when I went on the Ultimate Women Challenge show, a bunch of the girls told me, hey, you should try to take a couple fights at 120 and then maybe 115. And when I got back from the show, I took a fight at 120, and then I just did this one at 115, and I felt really good. So I'm going to keep fighting at 115, and every once in a while I'll pop back up to 125, I think. Okay,
fantastic. Now you had 2 fights last year. You've already got 1 in the books this year. How many fights do you think you're going to get in? Is this something you're going to, try to increase every other month? Is it every 4 months? How are you doing it?
Yeah, if I can get a fight every other month, that would be awesome. It's just finding opponents.
Right.
Yeah, I had the 2 pro fights that are on record. We've fought on the show, too. It was sanctioned. We were just waiting for the results to come out. And then I had 2 amateur fights last year. So overall, I fought 5 times last year, and it was nice. But if I can shoot for 6 times, that would be even better.
Okay, fantastic. Now we're talking about this show that you were on. I know Michelle Ould was also on the show. When is this show supposed to air, or am I not finding it on my cable network?
I don't believe it's aired yet, and I I don't know. I guess we'll just have to keep waiting.
Okay. So we're all on standby. I'm just making sure I didn't miss something because I'm like, damn, I want to see this show because I saw, the photos and whatnot that they put up. I'm assuming it was either on MySpace or on Facebook. And
we did some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to
you guys were at like a gun range. I saw you were shooting weapons and whatnot at a gun range. And like I said, I know Michelle Ould. I recognized you from the show and a couple of the other girls on there. But I'm really anxious to see this show. I love to watch the women fight. And I'd like to see you guys mix it up more than not. We don't have too many amateur fights. I've only seen one amateur female fight in the state of California, and last weekend I was at Gladiator Challenge. They had girls in there at 150 pounds, and I was thinking, I'm not saying they're fat, but I was like, man, that's big, but very entertaining. I enjoy the women. What do you think it's going to take to get more women to step into the cage? Do you think it's happening now that there's more ladies out there training?
Yeah, I think it's evolving pretty quickly for the women. We, getting our foot in the door and just trying to get equal fights as the guys do. But yeah, more and more girls are interested. It's just the whole getting the guts up enough to step into the cage. And when there aren't amateur fights, you don't really get the experience that you would get if you did live in a state where they had more amateur fights. But, you got to do what you got to do if you want to be in the sport. And you live in a state where they don't have them, but I do have to say, if you have the opportunity to be an amateur before you turn pro, you should definitely do it.
Okay.
I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
It helps.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, because there are pro fighters and promoters on both sides of that, but you would recommend that to anybody starting out to at least try the amateur circuits first.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Now, take us through this fight that you had. You said it's at 115. Who was your opponent? And tell me what the art of fighting is all about over there. Was that in Florida or what?
Yeah, that's in Tampa, Florida. Art of Fighting is a guy. His name is Nathan Smith, and he's the promoter. Really great guy. He took great care of us. We fought at the Tampa State Fair, which is, I guess it's very well known. It was their 107th annual fair.
Nice.
And, there was a little MMA expo going on during there, and my opponent was Angelica Brotherton, and unfortunately she came in about 5 pounds overweight and wasn't cutting the weight, so I took the fight anyways. I didn't go all that way not to fight. So
right.
I took it, and she was quite a bit bigger than me. It was my first cut to 115. It wasn't a hard cut, but I had to diet a lot longer than I usually do.
Right.
The fight went good. I mean, once I got her on the ground, I dominated her the whole entire time. I think pretty much all the pictures from the fight was me on her back on the ground. But she was a very tough opponent. She was a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo. She's been doing Muay Thai fights, sport jiu-jitsu, and she's also a Krav Maga instructor. So she was, a very tough girl. She's got a lot of potential ahead of her. She just keeps working hard. But I came out with the victory, and it was really nice to come all the way across the United States to bring home the win.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, did you take any time off, or are you right back in the gym?
I jumped right back in the gym on Monday, but I'm not doing full days. I just have been doing half days, cardio and conditioning in the evenings, and then some just MMA training in the nighttime. And I do cardio throughout the day too. But I'm trying to take it easy, but I can't stay off the mat. So
I hear you. All right. So what's up next for you? Is there anything lined up?
We're trying to line me up something for April, like beginning and middle of April. I want to try to get on a card. I just recently moved to New Mexico a few months ago, so I'm trying to get on a couple local cards here. I haven't gotten any word back from any promoters about opponents. And then yesterday, my coach got a message from a promotion in Erie, Pennsylvania for April 9th. So I guess whoever sends me contracts first is where I go.
Okay, fantastic. And you're trying to are you trying to fight at 25s or you think you're going to make that cut to 15s again?
I think I'm going to make the cut to 15 again.
Okay.
It wasn't that difficult, and I felt good still. So.
All right, at 115 pounds, I mean, you got to see the women's Bellator tournament. How do you think you stack up against the ladies in there, especially Zoila?
All those girls have a lot more experience than me, but, you know, if they're willing to offer me a shot at the Bellator tournament, I don't think I'd turn it down. I'd be in there. It would put my name up there on the board.
All right, fantastic. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I appreciate you taking some time here with Cage Radio. I want to give you the opportunity to shout out anybody you want.
All right. Well, I would like to thank all my sponsors. I want to say thanks to Throwdown Industries, Damage Control Mouthguards, TheNextGreatFighter.com, Fight Soap, I'm sorry, ForeverFit.com, and Failure's No Option. And I do want to thank Fight Zone TV because they sponsored the Art of Fighting show in Tampa, and they will be airing all the fights here in the next couple weeks on tons of different stations. So just everybody check your listings for Art of Fighting 11 Fusion. I want to thank all the people here at the gym in Farmington, New Mexico, or at Punch's Boxing Club. And I want to thank my coach, Jason. Wouldn't be able to do any of this without him. And also my son, Marky, because without him, I wouldn't have more to strive for also.
All right, fantastic. Well, we look for big things from you in 2011, and we'll see if we can get you to fly out here to California and beat somebody up out here.
That'd be awesome. Let's do it.
All right, Little P, I appreciate it. Take care. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you, John.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.